Hey, fellow artists, welcome to Psycheopera Creators Live. I'm Dr. Liza, and this is a dedicated space for dreamers, shapers, singers, and makers. And if you got that reference, then we love you, and you're definitely in the right place. Today, folks, we're talking to author, journalist, educator, and more. Laura Sanchez Ramirez. Laura and I have been friends for many years, and we're so close because we've supported each other's creative entrepreneurial journeys for a long time. Before I bring Laura on to talk about all of her latest publications and her baby, Camino Press, um, I'm going to ask you to navigate to the video description box. If you'd like to connect with Laura after the stream, you can sub to her YouTube channel, and you can also preview all of her books on Amazon and perhaps purchase one for your library. Okay, so without any further ado, let's bring on my good friend, Laura.
Hey!
Hey!
Hello, how is it going?
Busy? Busy like you.
Busy is
I
good.
Yes. This recap has been a long time coming, Laura. We've been meaning to stream together to catch up with what we're doing for a long time. And I think the last time we spoke on stream, Camino Press. Camino
Yeah,
Press was
yeah.
still an idea. Is that correct?
The Camino Press was still an idea. Indeed, yes, it was.
Was. So tell us, what is this Camino Press that exists now?
The Camino Press is a combination of when I walked the pilgrimage at Camino de Santiago in Spain, and then after the pandemic and all the wonderful things that I learned from all the wonderful people out there that I had courses to teach about podcasting and writing and editing and teaching and schools for children and so many more. And then the idea of me having so many books in a box in a closet and wanting to publish them, but at the same time I had my teaching going and all the other things, Liza, that you know that I had going on. I said, well, wait a second, I have my podcast, the I don't say Camino in Spanish, and Life with Purpose. And what about I want to have my own publishing, whatever you call it,
Yeah.
publishing agent, publishing school, publishing company, publishing something, so that I can put my books out there and the books of so many others that have asked me, Laura, how do I publish a book? I don't want to be big. I just want to leave a legacy, or for my family, or for me, or for my job, or for the company that I'm thinking to create. So I'm like, okay, so let's do this. Let's see if this happens. So then I published my first book, and then I created the Camino Press based on Camino, the walk and the pilgrimage that I did in back then in
Tell
2019
us
in
about the
Spain.
Camino, a pilgrimage.
The pilgrimage, I had learned about it when I was a teenager. Actually, it goes that way. But I think I had told you about this. My dad gave me a book, De Camino by Shirley MacLaine, and then so I read that book back then. I think like two nights.
Wow.
Yeah, I read it. I'm like, oh my god, because I was a teenager. Like when you're a teenager and your parents come talk to you, and you're like, yeah, right. Are we gonna go out? Oh my god, that kind of thing. So my dad just put that book on the bed and said, here you go, read that. And then I started reading because I always like writing and reading, thank God. And that idea of me doing the Camino, what Shirley MacLaine did all my life through my high school and college and my career and my family and all that, stayed in my mind until 2019, when I told my husband at the beginning of the year, I'm like, I'm going to do the Camino this year, I think. And he's like, okay, good. I'm like, I think in summer. He's like, okay, fine. And everything just walked out. It just worked out great, because I told my dad, Dad, can you come with me? He's like, no, I'm too old already, but I'm going to pay for your plane ticket.
Oh,
So he paid
wow.
for my plane ticket. And I'm like, okay, Dad, I'm going to walk the Camino for you because you gave me that book. And for all the people that wanted to give me a note, people could give you a note, a prayer, when you walk the Camino, so that you can um, it, ask for whatever they want in different towns that you go through when you do the Camino, a church or a the Virgin Mary, anywhere you can just choose and say, today I'm going to talk about this and I'm going to do the prayers for this person. So I did it. I took all my papers, all the notes that my friends gave me, and I walked the Camino. So I walked for my dad and I walked for my parents, of course, my mom, and my whole family, my daughters who were already in college, my students who I was still teaching. And I walked the Camino de Santiago 40, what was it, 45 days? Yeah, 45 days from France, because I did the French route, from France to Santiago de Compostela, what they call the end of the world. Once you pass the church, Santiago, then you go beyond, and it's called Finisterre. Finisterre is the end of the
Oh,
world
wow.
on the north of Spain.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this journey of taking well, the journey of taking a journey to help other people. And this is what inspired your publishing company.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
I started, I say I'm not just gonna do create the Camino Press. And it just, the name came like that. Like, what, how am I gonna even name this thing? And I'm like, wait, the Camino Press. It just came so, I don't know, so natural. So I said, I'm not going to do the Camino Press, but I can just put out a book with all my writings in there. I want to also create, help others publish their own books. So everything started with my mom, who had things written also. A couple of friends of mine, then my friends recommended other clients, and like that. And so I'm like, oh my God, so I'm so happy that now I was able, my grandchildren were born last year, by the way.
Congratulations.
And thank you, I'm a grandma
Will be.
now. And yeah, and so I said, oh my God, the living head, let me do my very first children's book. I wrote it for them. They're twins, so I'm like, okay, it's a twin and they have a dog. It's about a dog, so let me just go ahead and create the living head, and sombrero vivo in Spanish, for those of you who want to learn
Yeah, for those
Spanish.
of you who want to
Yeah,
practice Spanish, there isn't a better way than to support
to
a
read
living artist,
and to
a li-
read.
and to read
Yes.
and to read out loud in Spanish. By the way, Laura, I just want to thank everyone who's joining us today in the chat. We have Positive Pokes here
Thank
saying good
you.
day, and we have Black Hole Forge, who I guess he noticed. He visited your YouTube channel, noticed that you were a life coach, and has a question for you.
Go
He asked,
ahead.
"You have so many wonderful things you want to do. Any tips on time management?"
Oh my God, time management. Everybody wants to tell you about it. Everybody wants to tell you, do this, do that. And what you have to do is just focus on yourself and see the time of your life you're going through at the moment. Because it doesn't matter what I tell you today or what I tell myself even to do today. There's so many things around you that have a big influence in what you do, or whether you're able to do what you want to do. That you, it's not that it's your fault because you don't do it. It's not that it's your fault. So that would be my tip, basically, not to feel guilty if you don't get to do what, because it's the other way around. Usually what I hear, oh, you didn't do that, come on, why not?
Yeah,
And they push and they
yeah,
push and they push. When you don't do something, Liza, you and I have talked about this.
yeah.
When you don't do something, like we didn't do this before for some reason.
Right.
I didn't create the Camino Press before for some reason. You didn't do the wonderful things that you're doing right now because it wasn't your time to do it. It was, the preparation was there, the ideas were there,
The
but
ideas.
the ideas, always so many ideas, but then you have to wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And listen to your gut, listen to yourself, and say, okay, I think now this is time to go ahead and do it.
Yeah, Black Hole Forge, don't feel guilty. I know you are a creative person like us. You're being
Yeah.
bombarded with ideas, and you're like, if I
Yes.
don't capitalize on this now, I mean, the idea will just fade away,
Yeah.
or somebody else will tap into that idea and manifest it. Look,
Mm-hmm.
things happen in their own time, and I find when I try to
Yeah.
force something forward, that's when I fail.
Yeah.
Always proceed with authenticity and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, and then when you think that's not good enough,
Yeah.
because you say, "Oh, I'm not good. I'm not
Yeah.
good enough. I can. Oh, I'm not. I'm not good at that." Yes, you are. It's already in there. You have the idea for a reason, not because you just thought about it, occurred to you, and no. But just wait and don't listen to. I don't want to say the negative thoughts and negative ideas, but it's true that people might tell you, or that you even might think without people telling you, "Oh, I'm enough for that." No, it's that it's not your time, but it's there. So just keep going, keep pushing and waiting to see when it's there. And the ideas, let them flow and put them on the table so that you can see them and then put a date to it.
Right. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a timeline, but don't let it ruin the journey,
Yeah,
because the experience is what's going to keep the, I guess, the journey sustainable, you know? You have to
absolutely.
give
Yeah.
yourself some grace so that you can keep going. Hey, DJ Play Nice, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi.
Dan Smoot, really appreciate it.
Dance
Dan
smooth.
Smoot.
Thank you guys.
So
Thank
Laura, let's
you.
talk about how many authors have you helped through your Camino Press get published?
So far, it's new, it's a baby. But so far, I think I have one, two,
Mm,
three, four, five,
That's a
six.
lot. I mean,
Yeah,
I know you've
yeah,
told me about the process, so I know that's a lot
yeah,
for a
yeah.
baby publisher.
Hmm, hmm.
But how, what type of authors approach you?
That's the beautiful thing about this thing. When I started, or even before, I always heard when people write, they always write about one specific thing: novels or children's books or self realization or whatever. And that is not true, because writing is inside of us only one thing. No, inside of us there's a lot of ideas, a lot of things. We go through different phases in life that teach us different things, or that at the same time we want to teach others, we want to share with others. So the writers that I've had have come with novels. This writer, she wrote, now the most recent one, she wrote a beautiful book of 370
Oh,
pages, a
wow. That's a
big book.
big, a
Yeah,
big one.
yeah, about something that happened in her life and how she was able to come through and to understand certain things about her life, because of a
Interesting.
specific artist that she always listened to. And whenever she was down, she would something would come up about this artist, a new song or a release or something, and then that would make her think, because the songs always had a message for her. You know how songs are,
Interesting.
some songs have messages for you, some music, and some uh, doesn't.
Yeah.
And so so this is one of, she wrote about herself, like her life, but at the same time she introduced music into that. Another one wrote about children. Another one has a series of 17 books about the chakras, and it has to do with yoga, but applied to children, and how with children, not always like what you hear, that the all the chakras and let's do exercise and yoga exercise, but how that applies to children. And it applies to life, how to be kind, how not to be a liar, how to work hard for what you want, and stuff like that. And
Right.
so, yeah, and then so many other different things. I can tell you that not one book has been the same or about the same genre.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah,
And so yeah,
yeah.
your publishing house, your publishing company is not a genre specific thing.
No,
But I
no.
do feel like there is a connection between all the publications, in that it's it expresses the authentic journeys of the author, whether it's about life experiences, it's
Hmm.
about coaching, it's about, you know, I have your mom's book here, your mother's book.
One of
Yeah,
her books, yeah.
passing on
Yeah.
wisdom. And so I
Mm-hmm.
want to
Mm-hmm.
introduce you to Kevin M. Kraft, by the way, Laura. He's this gentleman with the hat in the chat. He is
Oh, my husband would love that. They had. Hi,
he is a
Kevin.
he's like a Renaissance man. He's a cigar box guitar builder player, but he is also a Christian novelist. And
Mm.
he has a few publications out there. I just thought author to author, you guys should know each other. And
Thank you. Nice to meet you. My pleasure. Wow.
Kevin M. Kraft, definitely check out Laura's YouTube channel. You guys should definitely connect.
And Kevin has his publications on Amazon,
Kevin,
or where do I go to
um,
get?
Kevin, do you have? I think you do have your publications on Amazon. I think I've linked. I think I've linked to Kevin's books
Okay.
on Amazon. So yeah, definitely search Kevin M. Kraft. He also has a
Okay.
website, kevinmcraft. Is it .com? I think it's just simple website where he has a list of all his publication and reviews and things like that.
Good. Okay,
And
great. I'll check it out, Kevin. I promise.
cool beans. And so
Yeah.
Laura, okay, so you yourself have published some fiction and nonfiction through Camino Press. Talk to us about your stories, your poems, your everything. Tell us. Yeah,
My oh, if I talk to you about everything, we'll be
that's
here
okay.
forever. But for
I
now,
am not in a hurry. Talk like what new work do you want to show off here? I want to learn about it. I want the audience to know about it.
yeah. Well, my poetry book, I have one in Spanish and one in English, and the reason why I have two is not because they're translated, it's because they're completely different. Because when I wrote in Spanish, like I think I've told you before too, I just couldn't see
You
myself
can't.
translating it.
Yeah,
It's
you
not the
can't
same.
translate poetry. I
No,
mean, it's good to,
no,
for example,
no.
Jose Marti, Francesco Petrarca in archaic Italian. You can't translate poetry. You lose the beauty of the language, the rhythm of the language. It's an art form that needs to be spoken, to be heard. It's like music.
It's like
Um,
music.
it's like music, and the thing is, it's good to have a translation next to you so you can have more of an understanding. But
Understanding, yeah.
the enjoyment of poetry is in the sound as well. You can't translate poetry. No.
You can absolutely. I try. Well, you see me on the phone here now because I'm looking for. I don't have a copy of the book with me, but on Amazon it is, and this is my poetry book. I haven't put out the one in English yet. That'll be next year. But the one in Spanish is this one. I don't know if you guys can see it there.
We can see it, yes.
That's
And that one is
yeah.
linked in
Okay.
the video description box as well, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's una vida en poesía, like a life in poetry. But I couldn't. I mean, I can tell you what it means, but to translate all of those poems that I wrote since I was 6 years old, and then I had a choice. I'm like, do I put all these little, childish poems in here, included with the teenage poems, with the poems where I'm an adult, or do I just say? And I decided to just
Yeah.
put them all in there, just put them all in there and don't go by dates or anything, and it worked out. And then at the cover also, what am I going to do for the cover? I was thinking, and then I asked my daughter, one of my youngest daughter, Gabby, the mother of the twins today. Gabby, do you mind if I put one of the pictures that I have from back then when you were 15 on my poetry book? And she said, oh, sure, mom, do it. I'm like, okay. So she gave me the okay, and that's
Cool.
her right there. That's my daughter.
She is
I told her, okay, I think I'm going to do
beautiful.
this
Oh,
picture.
yeah. And she looks
I
like
said, thank
you.
you.
Yeah. I
Gabby.
I
Yeah,
thought it
that's
was
so they
I
say.
thought it was you.
No. This is her when she was 15, trying and doing her ballet. She was trying one of the hairdos that they asked her to do in ballet. I remember that day, and she had makeup on. She never wore makeup, but this one, this picture, and I thank God I had it. I don't even know how I had this picture because so many years, like what, 15 years already.
She
so
looks
that's
like
how.
her mom.
So I have the poetry book, and if you understand Spanish, it's beautiful. Some poems are weak because I wrote them, like I said, when I was younger, and I decided to put them in there. But some are really good. I'm very proud of that book.
It's interesting. We could see the
Yeah,
progression of you as
yeah.
an artist in this book. I don't know anyone who's done that. You know, let me
Okay.
publish like a book of poetry that contain my poems from when I was growing up, and then people could see the progression.
Yeah,
Amazing. That's amazing.
didn't think about it. I didn't think about it like that. I just put it
I
in
don't
there.
know
But yeah, it's
anybody
true.
else who's done that.
There's
Yeah.
yeah, it's there's a progression in there. So anyway, so the English not the English version, the English poetry book is going to come out next year. And then the one that I have here, let me which one do I show first, the children's book or the anthology?
Your call, Laura. Your call. Aha. That's yes. Yes.
Okay, so the children's book, we did them in English and Spanish both because this is for children, and I want all the children possible to be able to read it. This is El Sombrero Vivo. This is a dog children have. It's bigger than this, trust me, super big. It's a beautiful, big, huge black dog.
He's
But
grown
this
up.
is
Yeah.
exactly. And the story basically is about it's raining, and I'm not going to read it to you, but it's about the family. I included the family, and I included the children now a little bit
I
bigger in this
love the
book. They're
illustration of the
like
family. Yeah.
yeah, this is like the first one, and then so basically it starts like that. It's two brothers. It's raining outside. They're waiting for dinner, and there's a dog sad and lost, and so they open the door. They go outside, nothing. They go in, and then they sit down at the table, and then a hat starts moving around in the dining area, and everybody goes like, "What is that? A hat is moving." And then the rest of the story you have to read it. But
There we go.
yeah, so we have it, the living hat, in English and in Spanish, and it's really really beautiful. And I want to give a shout out to Muriel and Franco from Somos Freelancers in Argentina, because they helped me to do the cover. The cover is a painting of my mom, by the way. My mom painted, yeah,
Wow.
my mom painted this. And my mom, I need this for a book. She painted it. But the design, and oh my, I looked for the pictures as well. I learned a lot doing this book. But I learned, it's beautiful. But he's the one, Franco, he's the one that put it together for me. So I'm so thankful for that. So yeah, so I could have it ready for the presentation in
Wonderful.
Miami. Yeah, so here it
Oh,
is.
tell me about what's going on how you're promoting your books. You're doing book fairs, you're doing conferences. Tell us about that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the I did a podcast with a friend of mine who's launching uh, their podcast is What Are You Talking About? It's
Okay.
an amazing. You gotta be Liza. You gotta be there. It's an amazing podcast. It's with these two ladies. They're more or less like us, and they're doing a wonderful job. I've known Tanya since I did yoga back then. We both met there, we registered, and we got certified in yoga, and ever since then we continued our relationship. I moved, she had three boys, I had two girls, and so on and so forth. And now today she has this podcast that she started recently, and she invited me. I'm like approaching these books, so it'll be beautiful. And so that's I did that podcast. I did two podcasts in Argentina about the books, about different topics, about the anthology one and the other one about the children's book. I did also at Books and Books in Miami.
Okay.
I presented the books at Books and Books in Miami, which was amazing because I saw some of the writers of the anthology were there. That sent me their piece, their
Right.
writing. I saw one of my bosses that passed away. Her daughter was there. She went there. Last time I had seen that girl, she was a girl. She was 7 years old,
Amazing.
and now her son is graduating from high school. And she showed up there, and I was like, Oh my God. It was so I try, my mom was there too at the presentation. Like, don't cry, because I'm a crier. I cry for anything.
Cool.
And there
It's
were
okay.
so many cool people that, yeah,
Amazing how time passes and you lose track of people and then you reconnect in the
yeah,
most interesting places
yeah.
and in the most
In the most
interesting way.
interesting places.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Synchronicity for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you keep that relationship going even after years, because you cannot be maybe not talk to a person for years, maybe just a hi, hello here, Merry Christmas
Right.
there, and so on and so forth. But and that person knows it's still there. It's not
Right.
broken yet. So that's what happened with like my former students, and with this other lady that I met that also wrote her books and has also her own books. It's amazing, like the people that I found there. I was not expecting that,
Well,
so yeah.
we've known each other for a long time and you move forward in life
Yes.
with always a positive energy. It emanates from you, Laura. So, you know, sometimes we go months without speaking, but when you send me a text, it's like, oh, it's Laura. Okay, it's like we spoke yesterday. It's like
Like we spoke
you
yesterday,
just
that's
have
true.
you this innate ability to connect with people because you're authentic. You're not. Oh, I don't. What other word is there to use when people, some people in the creative business space, I don't know if this resonates with you, so predatory, so um always transactional. And it's okay to be transactional in certain circumstances, but to have it
Mm,
consume your life and direct your journey
yeah.
and direct
And
yeah,
make you change, Noah. And that's one
yeah,
of the things that I cannot get to. I get, as I get older, and I learned so many things, all the things that we're learning. One of the things that I cannot learn, if we can call it like that, is to pretend, or to just put out there something that I'm not.
right, right.
And so even when I was at Books and Books, everybody was like, "Oh, it's Books and Books. Oh, you're in Books and Books." And I'm like, "I'm in Books and Books." Like, what am I? And my mom like, "No, don't laugh, don't cry, don't do that." I'm like, "No, no, I'm me." And basically, and I'm
You have to
sorry,
be, yeah.
if you like it, fine. If not, you
It just
know,
becomes so tiring to pretend,
yeah, to
and
pretend. Exactly. And that's why I love the podcast that I did what are you talking about? Because the idea came from Tanya sitting at the table talking, and then she goes like, "I can hear you. What are you talking about?" And she goes like, "That's the name of the podcast."
that's the name of the podcast.
I know, that was amazing. And they're like that too, authentic like that. And we had a beautiful conversation, the three of us, just like we're having right now. And that's the kind of conversations that I worlds. Yeah, honest
Right.
conversations,
Real
and yeah.
real connections.
Yeah.
Yeah. Such an antithesis to the world we came from. Should I mention it? Academia? Maybe? I don't know. It's just well, you are an educator though,
Hmm.
but you unlike many of our colleagues, very you know, very grounded in reality and real connection and really caring about your students. You've developed um, a, a program, a educational program. I forgot what it was called. I think I'm sorry.
The coaching for goals
Um,
academy for
well,
executive functioning skills for.
executive functioning skills. Yes, that's what I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about. That it has that evolved into something new, or are you currently still building up that program for entrepreneurship for youngsters, for creative youngsters?
Yes, it's amazing because when I moved to, I lived in Florida and now I moved to California. And when I moved to California, I kept teaching. And what am I going to do? Who am I going to teach? Aside from my writing and all the things I was putting together. And then I started teaching at this school. And then this person here, the owner of the business, he mentioned, what we do here is executive function skills. And I'm like, to be
Yeah.
honest, that was new to me.
It's like, what does that term mean?
What is it? I mean, me being a teacher, a professor, and all the things, I'm like, what does that what does that mean? Again, I was like honest. I'm like, I'm sorry, but oh, but do you teach? I'm like, yeah, I do teach, but what is executive functioning skills for a 9-year-old? Because I can understand executive functioning skills, executive and functioning skills for adults, for us, for business, but for a child. And they said, no, basically you just teach children how to go through school. I'm like, oh, that's what it is.
Okay.
That's what it is. Okay, so just have a fancy name for it.
It precisely, but
Sorry.
you've taken it beyond that though.
Yes.
And in your program, you cultivate creativity and
Yes.
have you do not suppress it. Um, and you encourage, for example, you had a student write a book. And
Yes, because I realized that, go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that I realized that through working on executive function skills and how you have to be great at school and focus on only what they say in school, there
Exactly.
is creativity. And
Regimented.
these poor children, what they have, they are children. And if we have it as adults, how come they're not going to have it? So I started seeing all these children, how they started doing their homeworks, studying for the test, to put them to study. And when I asked them, "What do you like to do? What are you good at? Tell me a little bit about I don't know, the forest, nature, playing an instrument,
Right.
doing dance, ballet." And I started the conversations instead of like, okay, I'm here for an hour to teach you to study for next week. Basically, I just listened to them in the beginning, like the first 10-15 minutes, the first couple of sessions. I listened to them more than what I gave them,
Right.
and I got to know them like that. And I realized like this executive functioning skills is basically understanding yourself as a child, so then you can move and do everything else. It doesn't have to be just school. Everything else in life, how to, like, not me. Some mothers would say, no, he said he doesn't get along with his sister, or he doesn't get along with his grandmother, or she doesn't answer properly when her father talks to her. It's like all these kind of things. It's like, wait a second, do you know what she likes? I mean, me asking, I wouldn't dare to tell anything to the parents, of
Right.
course. And that nothing that.
No.
But understanding the child, the time I was with that child was amazing. Was amazing because I took what I understood about myself and my own students at the university to these children. I'm like, well, my God, these children love to the like, for example, I go to one of my students' house. I go to her huge house that she has, and she likes session in the garden. And so I started asking, and the mom was, you want to go to your room? You want to go to the living room? Or what do you want to go? And she said, the garden. And then the mom was going to go like, and then I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. Do you mind if we go to the garden? Of course. And the mom says like, yeah, I don't know if you can work there. So ever since then,
Why
we
not?
work in the garden. Maybe every now and then, if it's raining or something, we go, oh, you want to
Right.
go to your room? And then they see a change. They don't see like it has to be like that all the time. Children's minds don't work like that.
You,
Our minds don't work
our
like that.
minds don't work like that, and I think
Exactly.
creativity
Yeah.
in this regimented learning space and in the workplace, I find that most people's creativity is suppressed, and we need
Yeah.
it. At least in education, we can't control what happens in the workplace, but if we cultivate creativity in children, those kids are more likely to go out and create a living for
Yeah.
themselves,
Yeah.
be able to think outside the box, solve problems, and create a lifestyle that they're truly content with,
Hmm.
rather than feel like I'm being funneled into this thing and there's only one outcome and I have no choice.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
need more creativity
And I'm proud to
in
say,
schooling.
yeah, and I'm proud to say that a couple of my students, they were heading to the doctor so that the doctor could give them medication because they were not good enough, because they were not attentive enough, I guess, in school, because they were like they would lose their way and they would not pay attention and all that. So let's medicate them. And I'm see, before we do that, let me talk to the child. Let's see what we can do. I mean, I'm not saying that I solved their lives or anything, because
I'm sure you had a huge impact on their life because
but
their parents are not doing this for them.
some parents are not, some parents try, and some parents have too many children. Like I have like three families, and they're big families. They have a lot of children, and not because they don't love them or
Sure.
anything. It's just that they don't have, or they don't make the time, or they don't have the time to sit down with that child and say, okay, honey, what do you like to do today? And you have math in mind, you have mathematics in your mind, and and the next test. But before that, you ask, what do you want to do today? Okay, what about if we go outside and you have a math test? Okay, let's apply what you're learning in mathematics to, I mean, I love mathematics, so I always put that example. But what are you learning in mathematics with these flowers outside? Or what are you learning in mathematics related, that relates to, you love swimming, right? To the strikes that you give when you're swimming, and the things that you're learning during your swimming classes or ballet classes. So when you mix that, the child sees that I have to study for a test and pass it in a different way.
Right. Positive
So
pokes is right. It has to
yeah,
be interesting to them, and it's so, man, it's just,
yeah,
I
absolutely.
there doctors are so quick to want to put kids on meds than to ask the real questions. Why
Mhm.
are they hyperactive or misbehaving in class? The why is never
Exactly.
asked. And the thing is, we know the answer to the question because the system is too regimented. And people like you are available to to help a lot of children out there. So,
There's so much that can be done with
yeah.
children before they send them
Yeah.
to the doctor. There's so much. Little children, I'm talking about 9,
I
10,
know.
11, 12 years
I
old,
know.
like before
Yeah.
middle school, even before middle school. That is amazing.
Laura,
It's amazing.
I used to teach private music lessons to children in an academy in Miami. One of my a young tween students, he was 12 or 13, was on Xanax. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can believe it. Yeah, I can believe it, of
This
course.
is this is
Yeah.
a failure of the education system, and in many, I mean, if I were a parent, I would be asking my child questions. What's going on? What's happening? Why are you so stressed when you go to school? What's happening there?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
takes, you
Yeah,
know,
and even realizing that you not want to be taught in a school, you want to be taught
yeah,
at home, because that's another
that is
beautiful option
another
also.
great option. I don't, I,
Hmm.
a lot of parents, oh, well, my child isn't going to be properly socialized. Well, if they're on
No, no
Xanax, they're not
way.
being properly socialized in school, are they? There's something toxic going on there, and you have to
Yeah.
address that before going the
Mhm.
medication route.
And before they turn 18 years old, when you cannot do anything because they say that the child is no longer a child, and you as a parent cannot go in the doctor's office with that child, with your child, because the child is an adult. So between the doctor and, their apart situation or whatever, which is something that taught me a lot in my own particular case. You know your child, oh, she's already a woman. No, no, you can't come in, stay outside. I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's,
Really?
I mean, it's
Yeah. So even
even
before that,
before that,
yeah.
it's hard to navigate all of this. But it's great that educators like you are out there, and it's great that a lot of the things that you publish, even your poetry books, even things that are not exactly related to education, educate. Bring
Yeah,
things
yeah.
out in
Uh,
people that are missing in their day-to-day lives that they need, you know?
yeah, yeah. And that's why if I can switch a little bit to the
Yeah.
anthology, that's why I thought of the idea of creating the anthology, because and I started with my students. I started thinking of my former students and saying, okay, I know, because I knew them, and students talk to
Yeah.
you, and I know that these students went through a lot when they were learning, when they were doing their associate or
Right.
bachelor's or master's degree or whatever they were, and they were going through a lot. So I wonder what's happening now 10 years later, or almost 10 years later. And so, what about if I do this anthology with my former
Awesome.
students, which it didn't end up like that. It ended up with having more than my former students, because I thought of having maybe just 10, maybe 12, 13 people. And then I have 31 writers in
Wow.
the anthology, including my former students and including some of my friends, colleagues, and people that said, wait a second, why can I not be in the
It's like I
anthology? And
want to
I'm like,
be there
I
too.
want to be in anthology. And I had two routes. I could say it's only for my students, or I could say, thank you, welcome, why not? So that's what I did. So this is the anthology. This is the very last one that came right after the children's book. And there was a lot of work involved in this one, but I am so proud of this one, not for me, because of the people that wrote in here. And here you're going to find like different students. What this is, Seeds of Purpose. And basically they just wrote their story. I asked people, they said, what do I write about? And I had like three ideas, right, Liza? I think I sent it to you
Yeah,
too.
you
I
did.
had three ideas from
I'm sorry I
from
couldn't participate in this project, Laura. Believe me, I wanted to. It's just I have a backlog of things, you know, and
Yeah, but that's okay. It's what we say. It's like, if you cannot do it now, maybe you can do it for the next one, or maybe never, but it gives you other
absolutely.
ideas. So the beautiful thing about me saying no to something, and just a parenthesis here, is that you say no to something, but it clicks something. It might give you an idea for something else that you are
Right.
doing. So that's why it's beautiful. That's okay. I think that yes or no is beautiful when you know how to look
Right.
at them. I don't know.
Interesting
But
take.
anyway, so going,
Cool.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. So this is like, for example, this is one of the writers, and she is a teacher herself, and she is the mother-in-law of one of the writers that also wrote in here, and asked her, oh, can you ask Laura if I can also write up
Wow.
in the anthology? And that's how BB started writing in here. And so there's basically their story. And what I wanted to do at the end, since I know them all, I wanted to write something about their writing. So at the end of each person's writing, I wrote like editor's note, basically something short, because it's not about me, it's about the writer. But I wanted to also leave something in there for them. And I have everybody, this one, Dolly, she's also a teacher, and she is a teacher of autistic children. So her
That
story,
is amazing. That
so
is
her
a
story
tough
there,
vocation.
exactly. And I have like, so this is here. So another one of my students, and like, and so on and so forth. And I'm proud of this because of them. Basically, I'm really proud of this anthology, and I also have it in Spanish because of them. So it's 31 writers, and it's of purpose. Authors share heartfelt life memories. I don't have my glasses, so that's why I'm like, oh, that's why I'm like, oh wait, I have them here. Of
Cool
faith,
beans.
love, purpose. Yeah, I have my glasses here. But anyways, I love the and my friend Sally, who also like you couldn't write. She's like, Laura, I can, but you know what? I'm gonna send you a couple of covers so you can start getting the idea on what to do with the cover of the book. She sent me this with more things here. We just like
Right,
too
you
many
cropped it for the text.
too many flowers. So too many flowers. So Franco is the one to help me do this also. And then he's like, what about if we also do the back of the woman? You know, not only the front but also
Beautiful.
the
I
back.
love that. Yes.
So that's how he created that for me, and I'm thankful to my friend Sally and to all the writers that wrote for this anthology.
I do have the anthology linked, I think in the video description, Laura. So
Yeah.
if you guys go for the anthology, you will be not just reading Laura, but other contemporary authors. So
Exactly. About their stories, about the things they went through, like tough. Some of them I had to say, are you sure you want this published? Because you cannot, it's okay to write down everything you feel, but sometimes it's good to
right.
keep some things inside. I think as a writer, that you always hear, oh no, you as a writer, write everything so you feel better. No, you write everything, but some things they're private and some things you have to keep to
You
yourself.
have to have
I think.
boundaries for everything.
Exactly. So
You
that's
know,
how yeah,
your personal peace
yeah,
is worth more than any shock value something could have for whatever it is that you're writing. So you're planning to publish another anthology.
I'm planning to publish another anthology next year. Not yet because I have other
Okay.
things going on. I have two of my clients' books that I have to finish. My husband's book also, he wrote a book in a
Oh,
book of poems and paintings that he paints in a little book like this, and that's how he distresses with his financial consulting
family
business.
of artists. I mean,
So
awesome.
I said, yeah. So I told him I'm going to publish your book, but let me finish this first because we have this a
Right.
lot of work, as you know. So I think I want to do that. And my mom has her second novel, so I want to finish with those two.
Yeah.
The second novel, my husband's thing, my client that has 7 books, another client that is writing something that is almost finished. And then next year, I want to do the second anthology, and I want to do the Camino, the Santiago de Compostela, which is Walking on Heaven. That's
Nice.
the title, right? Walking on Heaven for next
Beautiful.
year.
Look,
Yeah.
you mentioned
Yeah.
that, the publishing process is rigorous. I think people need to know maybe a little bit about the process so they can
Yes.
appreciate the ton of work you're putting into helping people construct a book and get it into the hands of readers. What is the process
Yeah.
like?
The process is long. The process is not just, oh, here's my book and you publish my book. No, it's more than that. It's starting from the writer. You have to think, what do I want to write? And then maybe even consider the reason why you're writing what you're writing at the
Right.
moment, because you're going to have other many ideas in your head. But the children's book came before other books that I had. I mean, sorry, yeah, came before other books that I had. Why? Because I had a priority. I have my babies coming up, so I stopped everything else and I created this one. And it's the
Right.
same thing with the writers. And if you want your book published, you have to say, why do I want to publish this book? Do I want it for like to leave a legacy and just have it on a coffee table in my living room? Do I have it? Do I want it for the family? Do I want it for my business?
Right.
Like a couple of my clients, they say like, no, I want to have a book for my business so I can say I do this, I am this, and here's, if you want more information, here's my book. So you have to your answer as to why do I want a book.
Right.
And then some people have told me like, oh my god, I never thought about it like that. I'm like,
Well, I mean,
yeah,
yes, it's important to think about it because the amount of
yeah,
work that goes into it, like
Yes.
compounds if you actually want to turn it into a business, right?
Absolutely. And also, whatever you do, you could have a store. You could be the owner of a, I don't know, of a store. You can be a teacher, a professor. You can have your own business, coaching for life goals,
Right.
but you also have a book to back you up. And if you have that, then it's so much easier to talk to people and then present, look, I have already done this because I've been working on this for a long time. In terms of the editing process goes, you can write it. I ask my clients to put it on Google
Right.
Docs or send it to me by Word. Either way is fine, but it doesn't matter because once you upload it to Amazon, it's a whole
Mm.
new thing. You have to have the right
Ay, ay, ay.
dimensions. You have to and
Formatting.
I
Ugh.
have to formatting. I had to learn that myself, and I learned it, but you know what, that's not part of what I do anymore because it's just too much. I rather focus on the book, the editing
Right.
process, which is beautiful, copywriting, proofreading, because people, that's another thing. People go like, copywriting and proofreading and editing, isn't that the same
No.
thing? No, it's not the same thing.
Mm-mm.
Copywriting, and then you have to make sure that everything is, you have to have the copywriting page. Let me see. Yeah, like this one over here, the legalities of everything that you do. You have to write that depending on what book, the topic of the book, um, the I don't know, the content of the book. There's so many things before you
So
get to the story.
involved. Yeah, before you get to the story, you got a mountain of things to do to keep within the regulation of the
Right. And then if
industry
it's
you're
if
in.
it
Yeah.
yeah, if it's a novel, it's one thing. If it's a children's book, it's another. Then you have to have an introduction. Or do you want an introduction, or do you want an epilogue? Do you want to put it in the beginning? You want a preface,
Right.
like in this case. So it's like so many things that come to my job, aside from making sure that it makes sense. That's another thing. When you're actually editing the whole thing, is it making sense? Do you want to have chapters? Do you want to have only titles? Do you want to have
So
parts,
many
part one,
decisions.
and
Yeah.
so many things of the book that people go like, either they go like, oh really, I have to think about how. Yeah, I think so. At least give me an idea. So yeah, so once I do that, then everything is done. They review it. The mistakes, there's always something. It doesn't matter how many times you review a book, you're always going to find a mistake, a comma, or a word that is missing, or two words that are together, or a paragraph that has an extra line, especially with
Oh,
Amazon,
really?
unfortunately.
Even after you go
Yes.
through the process of
Yeah.
formatting, they fudge things. Oh
Yes.
no.
Yes. Like right now, this one I have to review it to make sure that, because I already saw a couple of things
Do
that
they
are not
send you
right.
like they send you a sample before it goes out into the market?
Yes, there,
Okay.
as an author, you have, you can ask for a sample, and I don't have one right now because I asked for this one, a good one to present in Books and Books. But they send you one that across the cover it says only for review.
Right.
It has a note here, only for review. So they send you that book, you review the book how it comes out, and then you send it back. It's a process that takes a long time, but it's doable. You have to be patient if you know that you are going to have your book out. Like one of my clients, she wants her book to present it at one of the concerts of this writer that she's writing about, and their concert is now in August. So we were like running to make sure that we would get
Oh my
everything
gosh,
from our side, plus these books that I was publishing, plus everything. And then she changed some of the. Oh, another thing, you want to put some images, but if you put any images in color, it's more money. So you have to consider that when you're selling your
right.
book.
How important are
And
the
another is
color images, you know? Yeah.
color images, so just black and white. Put the images after the title, before the title, on a separate page. It's so many things. I don't want to drive you nuts and crazy because I'm already going crazy with this, but it's a lot of little details that you have to pay attention to. Yeah.
Amazing. And that's even before it hits a market of any kind. And then after
Yes.
is the promotion, and with your friend with the concert, you're hitting a hard deadline. How do you hit hard deadlines when there's so much involved in the process?
Okay, that is when you have to say enough. Enough of proofreading, enough of editing, enough of, enough of trying to make it perfect.
Right.
Because it's good to do. I'm a perfectionist, not so much anymore because I've learned, but things cannot be done perfect sometimes.
I hear that from
Or, or,
from the most talented people that I talk to. Is like at some point you gotta just let it go. You cannot be a perfectionist. It's more important that you put it out. And so
yes, exactly. So I'm saying that too. I'm agreeing with all of those that before I said no. You gotta make sure that like my classes, they had to be designed perfectly so that the students would understand them. So that then no, not necessarily. The book is there. If you have a mistake, I've learned to, and especially with my dad, that anything that he reads, he always
no.
finds something. My dad, my father, oh my God, he's an English professor and he's the editor of the
Okay, that's
anthology.
tough.
He always finds something. I don't know how, from big authors too, from any book that he reads, he's always reading. He always finds something. Oh, look what he did here. Oh, what? No, not what he did, but look what happened here. Oh, they missed this, they missed that. Oh, wrong spelling. Oh my God. So you know what? I tell them, look, we have up until this date, and after that date, whatever is,
Has to
and that's
go.
it.
You
It
gotta
has
let
to
it
go.
go. It's
Yes.
so funny because you know our parents are our best supporters, but they're also like our harshest critics. That's been my experience. I know that's been your experience. And then on top of that, he's an English professor. Oh my gosh, that's got to be tough.
No, like I told you, like when I was at the presentation, I felt like crying because I saw, this couple of people that made me feel like, wow. And my mom was like, don't cry, like, don't cry. And then I'm like, oh my God. Okay, I forgot that I have my mother here.
Just yeah, you just gotta be you. I know that
Yeah.
parents, they want the best for you sometimes, but sometimes
Yeah.
their ideas are a little antiquated. And what people go to
Yeah.
these events because they want to get to know you. They
Yeah.
want to meet
Yeah.
the artist behind all of this work. They want to meet the genius entrepreneur, the person with the spirit that keeps going. And so don't
And
suppress that.
yeah, and they just want to have a good time, and having a
Yeah.
good time is just going to a place and enjoying whatever's going on at the moment, I think.
I mean,
So
the things that you do are not sustainable unless you're enjoying what you're doing.
yeah,
I mean, I know it
absolutely.
can be very stressful, but if
Yeah.
for the majority of what you're doing, you're not enjoying it, it's not going to be sustainable moving forward. There's no way.
No, I mean, I
So,
can imagine when you're working with your guitars, I can imagine like all the stress, and this is not the right notes. No, it's not what I was hoping for. No, so
gotta
I think it's something similar.
I've
Yeah.
learned through building cigar box guitars to just let it go. There's
Yeah.
sometimes a piece of art tells you where it wants to go, and you just gotta let it do it. I mean, there's so many variables to putting together an instrument, and you cannot control everything. You just cigar box guitars has building them has led me to become less of a perfectionist, not more. And
Exactly.
I think I've grown as an artist because of that. So we're
Yeah.
vibing on that. We're vibing on that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. No, no, I've grown as an artist, as a writer. I've grown as a person, and I've
Everything.
grown happy and proud to be who I am today.
That yeah, and
Yes,
that's what we're all working
absolutely.
towards
Yeah,
self validation. You know, to be able to live authentically in the world and still be, successful and have and we define what that success is. And when we achieve that we should be proud of ourselves, right? You know, you don't.
Absolutely, absolutely,
It's not
and
about
yeah,
external validation. It's about you finally, I guess, coming together in mind and spirit, and being at peace, and enjoying what
yeah.
you're doing on the day to
Yeah.
day. So
Yeah, and you, one of the things, what a conversation that I had the other day also in one of the presentations that I had, more private. We were talking about how we finally get to understand this or that. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to do with age, because a lot of people think that it's, oh, that's too young, oh, that's too old. No, that is in the time of life where you're in right now, the
yeah,
things that you have gone through. You can go through, a lot of people go through a lot of things in their first 30 years,
yeah,
and a lot of people go through just, they don't go through anything until then they start turning 60 or 70.
right,
So you
down
cannot,
the
this thing
line.
that I even I had, like, oh, oh, he's too young, or when I got older, maybe. No, 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 no. I'm realizing today that it has nothing to do with age. It has to do with the experience,
Yeah,
where life takes you, and the things that you learn along the way.
right. And being open to experience no matter what age you are. Be open to learning no matter what age you are. I think I've done most of my learning
Yeah.
in, starting in my late 30s,
There you go. Yeah. And
you
it's
know?
not like yeah, like I had my master's degree and you have your doctorate. I had my this education and certifications and all that.
Papers.
And what I've learned lately is more than what I learned in school.
Yeah.
What I learned with the certificates and all these things, that, oh, you have a whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
I'm sorry to
So,
say that, but it's so true.
no, it
Yeah.
is true. It
Yeah.
is true. And so, wow. So much to unpack here in one
We
conversation,
always do.
Laura.
We always
Always,
do.
always, always. And so, what's next on the horizon?
Next time, I don't really want to talk too much about it. Um,
Okay, I
but
know that some things, if it's still simmering, and it's not
yes,
ready to share, you don't want to put it out there because then you don't want the timeline stress to begin. I can understand that. So, yeah.
exactly. You know a little bit about it because we've discussed certain things before.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that I still have that retreat in my mind. That idea of having a retreat. That's it, and it's gonna happen.
I've been I've before I moved here to North Florida, my husband and I were getting into event planning because we were producing concerts and things. And it's something that I miss, that I want to get into again. Things have changed in my life where the location of what you're thinking of is going to be better. It's going to change, hopefully. Maybe within the realm of 5 years. I don't know. I know to the audience we're being very cryptic here, but
It's okay.
I, we're putting out a little mystery there, and that's why you guys should follow Laura on her YouTube channel, and also continue to follow me here.
Eliza,
Yeah, so you
yes,
can see how this journey evolves, and maybe you'll get some
yes,
ideas from watching our journey, experiencing it
absolutely.
vicariously here through YouTube. So
And that the followers
yeah,
help us a lot too. Sometimes they just, when we have these conversations with them, whether it is through text
yeah.
or email or the channels, they say, what about, oh, that, what a wonderful idea, what about if you add
Mm-hmm.
this to that, or what about if you also do this? So that's what I already have it written down, like what I want to do and present. And but I'm still getting ideas, I'm still getting things that I go like, whoa, I
I
didn't
mean,
think about that.
sometimes I we receive messages from people following our work. It's like, hey, I just, Liza, you could do this way, you could do this that way, and I'm like, yes, I could, mind blown. And it's like, oh wait, but to do that I have to do this and this and this and this. And it's like sometimes it's stressful
Yeah,
to
it
receive,
is.
but that trust me that even if we stow away your ideas, something's cooking up here.
Something's
They're
cooking.
they're having
Absolutely.
an effect on what we do in a positive
Yes.
way. So keep them coming. Even if we don't follow through with a suggestion, right? It's making a difference. You're helping
Absolutely.
us with
Hmm.
the emails and the comments that you make. So keep them coming.
And even the criticism, I mean, not criticism, but even the things like, why are you doing that? Because maybe that help, in that case it helps me ask me, why am I doing that? That's a good question. Or maybe that I have the answer, oh, I'm doing that because of this, I just didn't know it.
Right.
So it's good. It's I always turn that into a healthy conversation, rather than, oh, this person is telling me this. You don't know why this person is telling you that. It must be maybe that person has something, he saw something that you didn't, that you haven't seen. So yeah.
I've lately been very careful to internalize criticism that I get online. For the reason, I think the motive of the person who's supplying the criticism is important. Is this coming from a good place, or is this coming from a
Yes.
place of somebody wanting to take someone down? And I do
Hmm.
not.
I see what you mean.
Yes, I do not take criticism from people whose tone is obviously insulting, adversarial. You don't want to internalize that negativity.
Oh,
I just
oh, no,
delete
no.
those comments. But if you're coming from a
Yeah,
place of real engagement, you're really engaged with what I'm doing, and you want to contribute, I can tell nowadays, right,
we can
the
tell.
energy is there, and
Yeah.
those are the people you want to collaborate with. Those are the people, you want to
Yeah.
take advice and criticism for. Be very careful, folks, especially those of you who are, new to content creation for the purposes of growing your creative business.
Yeah.
Don't open yourself. Don't feel like you have to take
Hmm.
on every criticism that you get.
No,
Not every
no.
piece of criticism is something that you have to internalize and take to heart, because if you do, you're
Yeah.
going to be taking in a lot of toxic sludge. So be
Yeah.
careful. Be careful.
Yeah. No, no, you're right. Thank God that doesn't happen a lot to me. I don't remember anything too big
You'll
that
find
happened.
that I'm sorry, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
no, no,
I
no,
don't mean.
no, no. I was gonna say that. I was gonna say quickly that what I do is, when I feel that
Yeah.
in my gut feeling that something
It's
is
like
negative,
it's wrong.
I did.
Something's wrong. Yeah.
I stop it right
Yeah.
away. I delete it. I don't start like, oh, maybe, if that's the case, I just delete it, and I don't hear from
Don't
that
make
person again.
excuses.
Yeah.
Don't make excuses for other people's bad behavior, and
Yeah. Oh,
don't
no, no,
think,
no,
"Oh, I'm going to maybe there's a grain of
no.
a grain of gold." No.
Mm.
Throw that out immediately. I know that there's this pressure, especially on YouTube. It's like, "Oh, you release all the comments. You need that engagement to grow." And this, no, no, no. I hold all of my comments for review. My YouTube channel is my storefront, and I'm not going to have any graffiti on it. Okay? I'm not going to allow anyone to. That is my storefront, and you're not going to mess with that. I'm not going to allow you to. And so,
It's funny because I do the same.
good.
When I don't like something, immediately, if I get anything that I think that is kind of what, I delete it immediately. Not just the comment, but also the person who wrote it.
Right, me too. Me
Yeah,
too. I do the
automatically.
same. Automatic. You have to, Laura, because it protects
Yeah,
your mental health, and it also protects
yeah,
the your
yeah.
storefront. And you'll find that as you grow on YouTube, you're gonna encounter more and more. There's a lot
Mm,
of people out there that are going through stuff, and I'm not saying that that's an excuse to be nasty. And I mean,
yeah.
there are some really nasty, toxic people out there.
Where there's
And
there's a it's a world out there.
there is a world.
What
Yeah,
is the world?
exactly.
That
And and
a
so
mixture of good and bad. Yeah.
having a shield up, I think, is extremely important. But yeah, I
Yeah.
found that yeah, most of the interactions that I've had on this platform are very extremely positive, and that those
Yeah.
negative, nasty comments are very rare. But the thing is, um, you remember them more because they stab at your heart. You cannot give those. Do not give those people a platform. Hold all comments and remember who you are. Remember, you're the one who defines what success is to you. You're the one who is in the driver's seat of your life, and do not let anyone else on the internet, some random angry person, derail you. Okay. Just putting out there.
You remember them more. No, and just what I think about what you said is I respect all that, and I'm with you, but you remember them more until you stop thinking about them. And the best way to handle that is that just to, like I said, delete it right away and don't even look back
Yeah.
about that anymore. Because the moment
Yeah.
that you know how our minds work, the moment you continue with that thing that we get,
Negative
we
think.
creatives
Yeah.
get that. And what about, and why did I get this? Why? Because it's happened to me. That's why I'm saying it. Why is this person saying this? The moment you continue with that, it has
Yeah.
no end. It has no end. It can go. It can take
Exactly.
you away really far.
Yeah.
So even before that happens, just cut
Yeah.
it immediately. Immediately.
Exactly right. And yeah, we
Yeah.
creatives, it's like we're programmed somewhat to there's something there you know I feel like creativity is what, when you're in that zone, that's what truly connects you with the ultimate creator, and that there's something else
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is that is transmitted, that gets us into a negative cycle. I think if you're a creative person, you
Say
understand.
what we're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Yeah. Resist.
resist that voice in your head that says, "You suck." How else? I don't know how else. It's like like resist it, because I promise you that voice, even though it's speaking in your voice, isn't you. Getting
Yeah.
spiritual here. I know.
Getting
It
spiritual, and the more
isn't
and that
you.
happens to me a lot of times when I write, and I'm like, I just write and I create, and then I just go back and I read what I just wrote. I'm like, did I write this? Was it me? Before I go to the real world again,
You're in
I go like,
collaboration with the creator.
absolutely. I sometimes I have to like, wait a second, did I write this? Wasn't me. Oh, yeah, it was me. Yeah,
It
yeah. That's
was
I
you. It was you, and
Yeah,
you've allowed yourself to commune with the creator and allow them to speak beauty into the world through you.
yeah,
And
yeah.
definitely there is an an opposite force that will try to derail you, and you have to resist that force. That force isn't you. That force wants to derail you. That force has nothing to
Yeah.
do with with your journey. It is a parasitic force.
And
And
it's never going to end, but
no.
the sooner you learn to deal with
Yeah.
it, the less of it you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like it with everything else, it takes practice.
It takes practice. That too. Exactly. That too takes
It
practice.
takes practice and some experience to be able to resist that voice that
Yeah.
isn't you. So
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Our conversations are always like so deep.
always. I know, Laura, that's why. I mean, Laura and I, we talk over our conversations, man. When we get on the phone, sometimes it's for hours and we start, in one realm and we just end up it's always uplifting when we get off the phone. I love our conversations. I mean,
I know.
and
I'm like, I talked to Liza today. Yeah.
no, 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 and you need. We have this in our lives. We have this friendship where, like, when we're in that negative space, I know, I can pick up the phone. Hey, Laura, are you busy? And I know. Oh, well, Liza, in an hour or so. Can Okay. You need positive people like this in your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Find your
Absolutely.
Laura. Find your Laura.
Find your Liza. Go ahead.
And so, yeah, it's so important,
Yeah.
these type of connections with other
Yeah.
people that are
Yeah.
positive, that are not trying to pull you down, there's no,
Mhm.
uh, you guys know what I'm saying.
And it comes down to age again. You don't. It doesn't matter if you're young or if you're older, because throughout our whole life, we're gonna have different moments in which we're not gonna be feeling good, or we're gonna be feeling
Yeah,
fantastic, and we want to share that.
yeah.
We want to share that with that person. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's also so very important. Having someone like a Laura to share your victories with, because you guys know that there are people,
Yeah.
you're hesitant to tell certain people about when you've had a victory because, they'll somehow sour it up for you. It's so important to have someone in your life that you can, you know, share a victory with
Yeah.
and not have that sour taste afterward.
And now that you mentioned that, it's good to also have the same line of thought when it comes to accepting
Yeah.
your clients, accepting the people that will
Yeah.
be working with you, being able to say, not like us before maybe, or like me before, that I have to say yes because it's my first
Yeah.
client, or I have to
Yeah.
live, I have to. So it's so good to now say, oh, let me recommend you with
Right.
somebody else who's
Right.
more, you know
Yeah.
because and I just remembered, not a client, someone that was sent to me recently, to write a couple of books. It was beautiful. It was a couple of books. She wanted to do other things, but the person that recommended me this other person was very clear with me. Thank God, and I appreciate that. She's like, Laura, I told her no to do my part of the. She wanted to do a big
Mm.
thing, and this other friend of mine, she does something else. So this lady, and she said now she wants to write 2 books. So I'm gonna send her to you, but I just canceled everything that I'm doing with her right now because of this and that and that. So, and I'm like, yo, don't even send it to
It's
me.
like,
Don't even
don't
send her to
refer her.
me.
It's
Don't
like,
even.
yeah.
No, don't. I don't care if she has a lot of money, or if she has 2, 3, 4 million books. If it's not, if it's not the attitude that I like people to have when they work with me,
No.
no, thank you.
No.
So it is okay to say no. It is okay to realize that what you have in front of you is not going to serve you.
You find
So
you do
yeah,
from coming as you know, um someone who was into academic music, um you know, to grow in that realm, it's kind of implied that you have to have certain collaborations to
yeah,
grow your name so that maybe you can become a full-time professor in a prestigious university creating art, right? That's the dream, no?
yeah,
And you find that when you collaborate, yes, you collaborate with the big names, but it's the wrong collaboration.
It's the wrong
It just
collaboration.
ends
It's
up
the wrong
at, you
collaboration.
end up shooting yourself in the foot, and not even in the long run. You know,
Yeah.
you might, you'll take a hit. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's something that we're expected and taught to do. And it's like, no, no, no. You have to be discerning in all things. If you do not vibe with the person you're collaborating with, that is going to be a disaster collaboration, and you are going to hurt your name and reputation in the process. So
Exactly. Just because
you
you
thought
thought
you
you
had
had
to
to say
say
yes
yes.
because of the name
Yeah.
or the fame that
Yeah.
it might bring you, or
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. It was so good when I went to Books and Books because everything was flowing so beautifully. The she talked to me, the main lady, and then a couple of months ago when I went to Miami, and then she's like, "Okay, Laura, just send me all your information." I was in the middle of a lot of things, aside from traveling and other things, and then I'm like, "Oh my God, this is not going to happen." But she's like, she sent me things gradually, little by little. She gave me a day. That day we couldn't do it that day because we were still waiting for the anthology. And then I said, what about the following week? Because I wanted to be in Miami that week also for my mom's
Nice.
birthday. So I wanted everything to like more or less be on time. And everything just felt like something that was very difficult. I know it's very difficult to go to this place, to present in this place and all that, but it was the right time. Not because I like them more or they like me more or whatever. It was the
It
right
came
time
together.
at the right
Right.
moment that came together. So some things happen like that, and the same thing, like some things don't happen like that, and you have to be able to realize it immediately and say, no, this is not going to work. This collaboration is not going to work, or being working with this person is not
Right.
going to be good.
Right.
And it's okay.
It's
It's okay
okay to
to realize
realize that
that.
and to say no. And I
Yeah.
would say from experience, it could hurt you more than it will hurt you. So,
But
so
absolutely.
jump ship
Absolutely.
early. Just jump
Yes.
ship early.
Yeah. No, thank you. Not it's not me. This is not for me. Or
Exactly.
whatever. It's not for me,
Exactly.
or I don't do that anymore,
Yeah.
or I'm busy, too busy now, maybe next year, or depending on how it is. So, yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
So
Yes.
on the same
Yeah.
wavelength.
Yeah. Yeah. No, things that you learn in life. Yeah. And we
Yeah.
still have a lot more to learn.
A heck of a lot more to learn, and yeah, never keep yourself in a cul-de-sac. Keep yourself moving forward. Be
Yeah.
open to growing, no matter what age you are, learning no matter what age you are. Just keep, you know so
Mhm.
long as you're humble enough to do that,
Exactly.
you'll be okay. So
Absolutely. We agree again.
yes. Yeah, I mean, our conversations, Laura, it's like it's so, I mean, it's nice to be validated, to be, on, people who have your amazing career, just validating. It's like, you're on the right path, keep going. No, you're right about that. Keep going, Liza. Keep going, Liza. Keep going, Liza. And so, yeah.
Yeah. And so I need you to say, keep going, Laura, too.
Keep going, Laura.
Thank you.
Yes. And that's what we're here for, folks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go to the video description. You need to check out Laura's content on her channel. And
Hmm.
guys watching on the replay, there are a lot of authors in my audience. Go to Laura's channel, watch her content,
Hmm.
see if Camino Press would be something good for your future as well. But get to
Hmm.
know her and her content first. You know,
Yeah.
comment on the
Yeah.
videos, interact with Laura, read
Yeah.
her books.
And I just,
I
I, yes. I just love the way that life has brought me, Liza, how we started and how we taught at the universities, and then we started our own businesses, and then we moved out of,
We
where
were
we
out of Miami.
our
Yep.
town, out of my exactly, and then just things kept on going fire here in LA also.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah. and
gosh.
and and so things like happen, and then I'm glad because now I look back and I'm like, thank you, been there, done that, learned from that, cried from that, and now I can move forward with my, writing my books, with my coaching, and now the executive function skills for the students. So
Very
I
important.
combined all that, and I realized that it's not that I'm working on different things. Is what I was telling someone the other day. It's not what it is now. Is that everything has
Yeah.
come together,
It certainly has.
everything has come together, and I'm like, whoa, thank God.
Yeah. No, you
Yes.
think it's like, oh no, I'm pursuing different projects at the same time, and people say I have to be hyper focused on
On
one
one
thing. No,
thing,
no, no,
and
no, no,
yeah,
no. That's not how creativity
yeah,
works. And everything that
yeah,
you think
yeah,
is disparate is is one. It's
it's
all
one.
related, and we can
Yeah,
see that through everything that you've put out on Camino Press and
yeah,
your education program. Everything is connected,
yeah.
hyper connected, I would say. Yeah.
Super. Everything is connected. Everything. Even I was thinking my university students and my children students and my books about learning, and my books about and I'm like, oh wow. Now today I can say that. I can say that everything is not that I am a Libra and that I like to do a million things at the same time, which is what I always tell Laura. You like engineering and you like this and that, and
Everything
then that.
is,
Nothing.
yeah.
There's a reason for everything. Because today I can say confidently that I am happy to do what I do. The writing, the coaching, the Camino Press, the coaching for life goals, the executive functioning, all together in one.
Awesome. Your soul is that of a teacher. It of a real teacher. And I'm not talking about degrees and stuff like that, of a real teacher. We
Mm,
need more people like you. We need more people like you to grow businesses
mm-hmm,
and to grow audiences, because what you bring to the world, Laura,
mm-hmm.
is so essential.
Yeah, and that's why what I have for next year is related to that. The retreat is related to that.
Awesome. Cool
So,
beans. All right. Do you have
all right.
any closing words for our audience watching and on the replay, Laura?
No, do follow your heart, do what you want. Don't, like we just said now, don't feel that you're doing a million things at a time. Just have a big table so you can put everything there. Don't throw away anything because you're going to use it later.
Oh, your vision boards. Oh my gosh. Okay. I
The
remember.
vision
I know where we were
boards to
close.
remember.
I look. I remember. I was working on something outside, and I had YouTube running on my phone, and one of your vision board videos came up, and I couldn't get enough of it. I think I watched it twice. Do you still have that video? On which channel do you have it? Do you have it on the author channel or on the Coaching for Life Goals?
I did on the coaching for life goals, which yeah, I've stopped my recording because I've had so many things going. I'm doing my podcast again. But that one I don't remember if I have it in my coach. Probably my coaching, I think. No,
I'm gonna go
the
back to. I'm
coaching.
gonna go back to.
That was like 5 years
Yes,
ago, four
yes.
years ago, or yeah, a long time.
For
Yeah.
me, I remember it. It was yesterday, and I remember what I was doing outside. I was gardening, and I was just listening to YouTube, and your video came up, and I think I replayed parts of that video, and I commented. It's like, oh, this is you've helped me organize my thought, and even though I didn't create a a physical vision board
But mentally,
and it's
you
manifested
yeah.
itself in the art that I created, like Photoshop. I love photoshopping stuff, and it's like
Yeah.
that vision board really
Yeah.
that year got me focused on my creative business. And I was,
Mm.
is you know, when you're listening, oh, here's a tool that I can actually use, you get excited. That was the,
Yeah.
and so I'm gonna
Yeah.
find your coaching channel. I didn't link it in the video description box, but after the live, I'm gonna go and link your coaching channel as
Yeah,
well, Laura.
yeah.
So
I might do another board. I might do that because also remember that boards, it changes every year,
right,
especially these years after the pandemic, that so many things have
right.
changed for
It's
everybody.
what I
Yeah.
found. What was great about it, Laura, it's not a to-do list.
No.
Those can be terrifying. This was just throwing an idea somewhere. It just keeps the stress off of you. It's like I see it, I know I'm working towards it, but it's not a strict to-do list. It and the sheer fact that it is a piece of art that can change and can be modified moving forward as you
Yeah.
learn things. I've found it to be a great tool. So yeah, I'm gonna link your coaching.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
I'm gonna link your
Okay.
coaching after the live so people can go and visit that channel too. And please, folks, like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff we need to do here on YouTube to get this message out to more people. And
Yeah.
so,
Okay, and if you get excited about the anthology, please read it because you're not reading about me. You're reading about 31 authors here that probably have a story similar to
right,
yours. A lot of things that they just poured in here that it's like, oh my God, if they can do it, I
a
can
lot
do
of
it too.
inspiration in there,
Yeah.
folks. So, with
Yeah.
that, thank you, Laura, for coming onto my humble live stream. And of course, we're gonna do this again. Whenever you want to do this again, you let me know. We will schedule it, my friend. So
Amazing. Amazing. I'm thinking about it already. Thank you
awesome.
so much. Thank you guys for being there. I really appreciate you guys. Oh, thank
All
you.
right,
And Liza is
folks.
amazing.
Laura is amazing. And so, folks, thanks for watching. And Chaito, I'll see you in the next video. And I'm going to leave you with my diddly bow outro. Here we go.